At some point, I ran away from home. Nali chomiak. Some promoters told us and took us to Natal Sprite. Where's your ticket? I showed them. They said, this is a single ticket, man. You need a return ticket because you are Canadian. I said, what are you talking about? I'm a South African. They said, brother, you are banned in South Africa. I would look around and see where there was a funeral or wedding. Wait until the funeral is over and the wedding, and I'd go help clean. And they give me the leftovers and stuff. And if we don't get our land back, there's no freedom.
We can talk all we want.
We can talk all we want. Give us our land back and we'll know how to deal with it.
King David Studio Podcast.
Today I have a star, just to brighten the studio slightly. Maybe get like a complexion. Again, Kop Setlhabi Taunyane. Rewe, I hope you're well.
I'm very well.
Oh,
very well.
Very well.
Yes.
I like that.
Under circumstances.
Uh-oh.
Of course.
The circumstances. Party hour win election. Born.
As party akayo.
Oh, I don't know. I hope your vote is your secret.
Yes.
I hope we win. I hope we don't to this time.
I hope we don't.
Mariao.
Mariame ayatla.
Okay.
Ntse gola. Ke baba nye.
ACDP,
EFF.
Oh, really?
Yes.
EFF. I'm wearing the wrong jersey. I should have worn red.
Yeah.
I should have worn red just for you.
No, I get Ruska jumpies.
Okay. Undercover.
Yeah. Undercover.
Yeah. I've been watching what you do. I've been watching your work. Even the tweets. The tweets, they sell their trender. Where they were showing you about stretch. But Red Taunyane will busy more trying to look young.
Never get well soon, but and I was getting a massage. And you know, grab massage, you've got to go with it. If you feel like giving a sound, you go with it. Go,
Oh, there were videos.
Then it works.
I didn't know there were videos.
Yes.
I saw only pictures.
Yes, there were videos.
So when you're screaming, they think something is wrong.
Yeah, they thought he's dying. And you see Naka body and skinny and they say,
he's gone, eh? Yeah. You have an interesting life story. A life story of someone that got very frustrated. And these are my words, not yours.
Yes.
At some point with this country. Like it frustrated you to a point where you said, sharp. I'm out.
Yes.
Where were you born?
Well, I was born in Soweto, Mufulo.
Okay.
1956. When the women of South Africa were preparing to to Pretoria. You know, I could overhear the sound of these angry women, and I decided it's time to come out. And I was born. You know.
Were you born close to the date of the march? The march is in August.
It's in August.
Yes.
I was born in April.
Okay.
Yes.
But you could sense
I could sense.
Yeah.
You know, I could sense. And my mother too, she was, I don't know. She didn't go to school, but she was so conscientized. You know, she understood what was going on.
Wow.
I'll give you an example. Go ginger beer. And then go to Jamaica ginger beer.
Yes.
I used to ask her, Mama, why you go to Jamaica? I don't know, it's go Jamaica. Your brothers and sisters, by Lebankiwa mo Africa mo, and were made slaves out there.
Yes.
So ginger beer irwa ke bona.
What?
So I was born in 1956. Grew up in Mufolo, and when I was 5 years old, my father passed away.
Oh, no. Before we get there, what type of Mufolo were you born into? When you found Soweto at that time, what type of Soweto was it?
Well, ke Soweto ene tlhakatlhakane, kore go na le Sotho section, go na le Pedi section, go na le Tsonga section.
Bushawela.
Yes. Go na le Venda section. You know, a little section fell around Mufolo. Ebitwa Mufolo village.
Mufolo yona, what section was it in that example?
Mufulo village.
But was it any particular tribe? Zulu, Sotho?
Mixed.
Oh, it
We're
was
mixed.
mixed.
Yeah. Ne separate ki di strata fela.
Okay.
Like for instance, nako gae ne le Sesotho section, kind of Setswana like section.
Okay.
On that street and a few streets, you know, ne le Batswana. But across the Skontiri, ke Matsonga, ke Mavenda.
Right, Momofulu.
Right, Momofulu. And then how ya kakwa ke Mazulu, ke eng, ke Maxhosa, you know. But they're separated according to the strata.
Did that do anything to your language? That growing up in this multi-tribal or cultural space?
For now, that worked.
Yeah.
Because I grew up with this thing, you know, this black consciousness of some kind, you know. I was into Zulu dance and Shangani dance and Tswana dance and all those things. And I didn't want any modern dance. Reza se Africa.
Yeah, man.
But why you get ali Zulu? Rema Africa. And I was only young, man. At some point, I ran away from home. Nadi chomiak. Some promoters told us and took us to Natal Sprayed.
Sure.
And I never got such a beating from my uncles.
Of course.
And I hated my mother for that. I didn't talk to her for a week.
Jeez.
You know, I didn't talk to her for a week. And that's when my mother was getting sick. By then, I must have been 12 years old or so. She got really sick, man. And I stopped going to school.
Because of that?
Yes, I loved her so much.
You.
And she died on my birthday.
Oh, no.
Man, I was 13 years old. I didn't know.
Oh, no. What was wrong with her?
You know, my mother was involved in a train derailment between Pefeni and Dube Station. And she got internal injuries. But now, since her husband died in hospital, lung cancer, nasa batli di doctors, batli di hospitals and all that.
Yo.
And my mother kept bleeding inside. She kept bleeding. She was sick. I remember the day when she died. Her friend Wamo Tsonga across the street. Unatla. Ke opola re mama nini ska ira se mo pela bana, please.
Sure.
Abatlon samoya. I said, let me just take a walk to my favorite place, Mufulo Park. I could sense something wasn't going on right. I took a walk. When I came back, I never cried, man. I never cried for the whole week or 2 weeks.
Do you know why?
I guess I was so shocked. You know, I was trying to understand, a 13-year-old trying to understand that. But now the day when she was buried, when the coffin was going down, gosh, I started crying. The louder I cried was the louder people sang.
Oh, no.
And they kept singing, man. And that singing was like a healing.
Yeah.
You know, it was a healing. And I said, hey, the love of my life is gone.
Sure.
I don't know how am I going to cope with this. And I said, maybe I'll focus on telling our story, our suffering.
Yeah.
I'll involve myself with show business, music and everything.
Mari, at that stage, it's quite small scale.
Small scale. Yeah, ke mokasi, ke nthonyana tse tseo.
Yeah.
And o bone re goletse mo pela Mfulo Hall wa bone le A2 cinema.
Okay.
So kore the entertainment industry ne le ntwa rona.
It was right there.
Right there, bo Mire Makeba, bo Dolly Ratheb, all these people we used to see them ka matlo.
Jeez.
You know, bo Richard John Smith and Jonathan Butler, all these people, bo Abdullah.
Oh.
Honal the midnight shows, wabo. So I said, I will do this thing after my mother.
Let's talk about her role in your life. You speak so intimately and very sentimentally about her role. What exactly stands out about your relationship with her in that very short 13 years of your life?
You know, she seemed aware of my talents. You know, and she was trying to channel me the right way. Even though nasa batle re etsa ntho tse tsa bo jive and all that, you know. And I guess this one seems smart and stuff, you know. She really loved me.
Yes.
But I think mainly because I respected her so much. I obeyed her so much. I remember one day I didn't want to do gardening. And she said to me, my son, you know what? You must learn to stand up for yourself. You can see I'm sick and all that. Learn to do things for yourself. If you want to be happy in life, do things for yourself. After I heard that,
how did you interpret that phrasing? Do things for yourself. What was your interpretation?
Well, it was just like that, that do things for yourself.
Yeah.
So I was being practical. And by being practical, Katola 2 and 6 more gardening.
There you go.
And I came back and said, Mama, you are right. Look, I got something.
Yes.
25 cents.
Yeah.
And since that day, you know, even now I believe that I should do things for myself. I'm a married man, but I still wash dishes. I still cook. You know, I clean, I do everything, and I try by all means to be part of raising this family.
And it doesn't make you feel less of a man when you do that?
It makes me a bigger man. Yes. Because a lot of guys don't really care.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to talk about something, but I won't talk about it now. Leave that.
I'll forget to ask about it. And you'll forget to tell the story. Because you brought us here, and I want to stay here for a little bit.
Yeah.
You say it makes you a bigger man, and it's very clear that not most men believe that.
Yes.
You're a man in the house. You're the one who goes to hunt. You bring, whatever you found, you throw it on the table, and then you relax and wait for it to be prepared as food. Then you're able to eat. We take that very same example and convert it into 2024. You are the one who earns the money, brings it home. Times have changed a lot, but you still believe that you're the one that's done this, and the wife must just make sure that your life is easy.
Yeah. Well, let me put it this way. My wife and I have a son who has special needs. So my wife has had to stop working and look after our son. He does homeschooling. So, you know, that Leona or I should be a participant, you know, in the family. Like, for instance, today they had a session with the Board of Education, a virtual conference. So I cooked breakfast today. While she was busy there, I was cooking breakfast, mole.
Yeah.
Ke shapa bo di French toast, wabona.
And
Ke di otsa mese. Ke di betsa. Ke mele na ora fetse, wabo.
Yes.
So that's why this thing makes me a bigger man. I participate in our lives. Wabona. And by the way, go ahead.
Do you think there's something wrong in the perception or perspective that says, no, that doesn't make you a bigger man? It makes you baktatela pants manje. And I'm not using Zulu for any other reason.
I hear you.
It's the language that crossed my mind at the time.
Well, there's nothing like that. You see, that's why we have so many problems here, Modladling. Because men don't want to participate in the upbringing of the family. That's why you have so many boys and girls in the city, Batsubadi Nyaope and all that. There is so much anger. Our mothers struggle bale single.
Alone.
Yeah. Men don't care. As long as they're drinking, they're fine.
What has made us that way? What have you observed about us as men? Clearly, there must be a source for this.
Well, we understand guy. You see, during apartheid, there was so much stress. Our fathers were going through hell komsebetsing. And habatla stress seo ne ba sentshetsa mo bomme ba rona. You see.
We spoke about something similar very recently in this room.
Yes.
How even a small white boy
yes
would be called clean bus.
Yes.
He can't even talk.
But it's clean bars.
It's clean bars. Already the hierarchy is clear. And you're a groot man of 55 with kids at home.
Yeah.
Mara, you have a clean bars who's 2 years old.
Yeah.
So already you are a small person. So those stresses.
Our fathers were overstressed. But I cannot blame the system for that. We are supposed to be bigger men than that. If we mean to bring up healthy families.
That's true.
We need to participate. You know, our daughters, by using sanitary pads and all that. My daughter, Nzahula, she used to come to me and say, Daddy, I need some pads. I go shopping and stuff. Can you please bring me some pads?
Yes.
Which ones are Cortex or whatever?
You even know them.
Oh, yeah, I know them. I know them.
Yeah.
Because I fully understand what's going on. I'm not saying I'm the best, but I'm trying my best. Yeah. Again, especially since my wife is from Zimbabwe. And we have suffered because she's from Zimbabwe.
Really? Do you want to tell us some of the experiences?
My family never really accepted my wife.
How long have you been married?
Gosh, should you say about 17 years or so?
That's a while.
Yes.
And
I just heard 2 days ago that one of my cousins in Diepkloof was buried 2 weeks ago. And no one phoned me.
So it hasn't changed still?
It hasn't changed. You see, because I'm married to Likwere. Do you understand, my brother?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've learned to live with that.
Is it just the family that behaves that way? Have you seen it beyond just the family?
Yes. But it starts with the family.
Yeah.
Because once you are abandoned by your family, this thing grows bigger even outside the family.
Of course.
But we can go step by step, ne?
No,
yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Because I want to stay with this xenophobia, and I'll call it that for lack of a better reference.
Yes.
Take us back to when you met.
You know, when I met my wife, in fact, my growing up, I always knew that my wife will come from Zimbabwe or from Ghana.
Why is that?
Because I had this thing in my mind. I don't know where it came from. You know, this consciousness, black consciousness.
Yeah.
So I went all over the world and came back home and I couldn't find a wife. I once had this woman from Ghana and she said, no, marry a South African. No. And one from Jamaica said the same thing. She said, no, me, I go marry my Jamaican man.
Yes.
So I came back home.
Yeah.
And then one day I went to buy Maguinya. I saw this woman running. And my heart went poof, poof. I ran after her. I said, sorry sis, I'm sorry, ngimoshela isikhathi. Ngifuna ukukhuluma nawe. Athi yangijahile, ngithi please thatha na iphone number yami. Ngifuna ukukhuluma nawe please. She took my number.
Did you say why at the time?
No, I just said, I just want to be your friend.
Yeah.
And she said, okay. A few days later, she phoned me. And what a coincidence. This morning, after I made breakfast, when she started eating, she said, I remember the first time I visited you. You made me such lovely sandwiches. Kaboroto. Yeah. How about chama msadi? Muchame ka pizza papa.
Yes.
Yeah. Pizza.
So it's not just that they say a way to a man's heart. Lemsadi applies the
same thing.
Wow, she remembered.
She was saying that this morning. In fact, this afternoon.
Yes. Interesting. Somebody was telling me that ladies never forget key moments.
They never.
We are the ones who are likely to forget. Bona, they won't forget the key
I can remember who are happy-go-luckies.
Yes.
Who are always drunk. Even when we don't drink alcohol, we are drunk.
Something is...
Because we have this self-entitlement. which really doesn't work. You know?
Yeah.
It makes us fools at the end of the day.
And we're talking about men here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yo. Describe the self-entitlement from your perspective.
Well, men, have this thing that a woman has to do the cooking, do the cleaning, and, look after her babies and, I personally, I look after my son. He goes to the toilet and I say, come, Papa, let me help you.
Yes.
He's got special needs. I don't want to get much into that anymore. Because, we live in a cruel society.
Yeah.
As some of my family members were saying, my son is like that because I have such an evil heart.
Sure.
These are things I've faced.
And you're saying it all stems from marrying your wife.
Yes.
That's incredible.
I've had, South African women ask me, even some colleagues in the industry, they would ask me, why did you go so far? What about Rona? And my answer was just simple. I said, look, it's my choice. It's as simple as that.
It is.
Yes, it's my choice.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with anyone.
Yeah.
Her side of the family, how has that been?
Oh, they're super.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're super. And I'm much older than her.
Oh, that too.
But I have learned so much from her. I really have. Without her teaching me, just me listening and observing, I've learned so much. Yeah. Since I met her, my life changed completely.
Amazing.
Yes.
Example?
I stopped smoking cigarettes.
Wow.
Yes, I stopped cigarettes, was it 8 years ago when Ray Peer died? And they said lung cancer. I was in Namibia and I was smoking. And at that point I would smoke a cigarette and cough and feel a little pain on my chest. And on that day I said, I looked at my box of cigarettes, I took them all here. I left one and said, tomorrow morning, no more smoking.
And that was it.
That was it. And I said, look, if I can beat just 1 hour after I wake up, brush my teeth, do whatever I do, I make my coffee, and I don't smoke cigarettes. If I can beat an hour, I'm free. I beat an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, 2 weeks. I kept telling them at work, guys.
It's 8 years.
Now it's 8 years.
Did you smoke that last one? Or you beat that?
I smoked it at night.
Okay.
After crushing all this and flushing it in the toilet.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the following morning,
no more smoking.
Did you feel, because I've never had a cigarette in my life, but I hear about it, hey, we are doing a land, do you need it after that?
It's all in the mind.
So you didn't have any of that?
The cravings and all that? No, it's all about the mind.
Jeez.
It's all in the mind. If you keep telling yourself that it's difficult to stop smoking, then you will die before you stop.
So you just walked away?
I walked away. I stopped smoking. I even stopped drinking alcohol.
Wow.
Yes.
Was it the same as divorce? You just walked away?
Yeah, I walked away.
No gradual...
No, I just said, this is enough. I started to believe that, alcohol is just not good for my family.
Okay, go ahead. I was about to say, what inspired the decision in this case?
Well, my father died of lung cancer. And he used to drink a lot. He used to smoke a lot. And I looked at that. My older brother, firstborn, Leona, he used to drink a lot and all that. And he was... what can I say? He was beaten by the Inkatha people during those times.
Oh.
They beat him.
Is it the 90s?
Yes.
The early 90s.
Yes. That was in 70s. Was it 76?
That way back?
Yeah.
Yo.
And at the time I was in Namibia, we were doing Ipitombi. Betha Egnos came and said, Jacob, you need to go home. I thought I was fired. I said, what's wrong? She said, your brother passed away. But now, before we go to Namibia, okay, then I came home. And I grew up with my uncle, Lepile Taunyane.
Okay, wow, I know that name.
Yes.
That's a big name.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
You were in the midst of great men.
I know. Well, I grew up under his discipline, and I truly appreciate.
When Daddy was not around.
When Daddy was not around.
Is he a blood uncle?
Yes. My father. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I wouldn't have known. So he decided to take charge of you.
Yes. In fact, it was my mother's wish that should she pass away, my uncle should come and take me. Because I was smart. Even now, I'm still smart.
Of course.
I have a brain that can withstand any hardship.
Yes.
Yeah. So we went to the hospital with my uncle. My brother was sitting there, brain dead, and his head was all bandaged. I even touched his head. It was so soft.
What?
His one eye was gone. And
this was a beating.
A beating.
I'm a trappy.
Comes in Kop. Hey.
Do you know the circumstances that surrounds that violent act?
Well, he had a wife and they were having problems. She went back home. Comes in Kop. And I think she called these people. They beat him brain dead. We went to the hospital. I saw him there. I tried to talk to him. He was gone. 2 months or so, 2 or 3 months, they discharged him. They said, there's nothing more we can do. It was so sad. Because I would come back from rehearsals, as I joined Gibson Kente. Because Gibson was feathering the black consciousness in all of us.
Yeah.
I would meet my brother in the streets, Zipia sakwalega, and the brain gone.
He wasn't the same.
The eye gone,
Sure.
And that dearly hurt me. I used to pray to God that, God, please take him. Please take him.
He's better off.
Yes. And then when this woman called me in Namibia and said, you need to go home, your brother has passed away, I said, thanks, God.
Yeah.
I came, we buried him, and later years, now I have a son named after my brother. All his names.
Deliberately,
because I loved my brother so much. I wished I could have helped him. Because nobody seemed to be there for him.
Ish.
He came out of hospital. He lived for 6 months. And one day he used to galavant Dube hostel, started drinking bamba and stuff. And then one day they said he went to Dube station, sat on the platform, slept, and that was the end of him. He
slept there and never woke up.
Yes, never woke up.
And I imagine people knew who he was. They knew who to call.
Yes. And before that, after my mother had died, before going to my uncle in Alex, my uncle in Orlando, Korabutua Mamaka, he took us to come live with him, me and my brother. And they took my younger sister to Klerksdorp, where my mother comes from.
Yes. Family now is splitting now, eh?
Splitting.
Yes.
It was so sad. And I don't know, man. Yeah, that I live.
How did that...
So my uncle, one Christmas day, Banrumarko reka magwinya. That Christmas Eve, he didn't come back. He came back around 5 in the morning, and nane ke rumilwe magwinya around then ka hore line e telele. When I came back, people at the corner said, don't even go there. I said, why? They said, your uncle, he's burnt to ashes by his wife. Soon as he opened the door, she poured petrol over him, lit him up, and
For not coming back.
yes. And
How many days later? 3 days, 2 days later.
no, just one night.
One night.
Yes. And my uncle was gone. Oh man. Oh man. And my uncle, was everything to me. He used to be a friend of Eli Mabuza's brother. So that's how I got to meet a lot of artists. They used to rehearse at his house.
Yes,
the Alan Kwelas, the Dolly Ratebes, they used to come there.
Sure.
Who's this lady who still lives now? She's in Kotubedaso.
Cool.
Abigail Kubek.
Kubeka,
yes. All these guys used to come to my uncle's house. That's when we were staying there. So when I heard that he's burnt to ashes, I don't know what happened to Magunya and change. I just walked to the freeway. So to freeway, that's when it was new. I just kept walking towards town. And I remember there was an aunt of mine in Deep Kloof. I went to her house and told her the story. That's when she called Ntate Taunyane Lepile. Yes.
Yeah.
And then, man, it was like, wow, things are getting worse here.
Yeah.
What's all this pain? Yeah, and my name Setlhabi. Then I get
you get named this thing, this burden.
Yeah. So my brother, we buried him and I went back to Namibia and politics were getting heavy and heavy. And I remember meeting the SWAPO people now.
In Namibia?
Yes. They came to the show and they were doing the anti-apartheid movement.
Do you remember the show you were doing?
Ipintombi.
Oh,
Ipintombi.
Okay. The big, the famous Ipintombi.
Yeah, Ipintombi.
Obviously, a Gibson Kent production.
No,
not this one.
That's after Gibson.
Okay, yes. Yo.
And then the SWAPO people were there, man, and they invited us for lunch and stuff. We were wearing suits and then with this little celebrity thing. We went to the house, But his shoes off, pants.
Yes.
I never felt so ashamed.
Why?
Wow.
Why did you feel ashamed?
No, because and these people were showing us about Africa.
That's how it's done.
Yes, we started eating together. And they were saying, brothers, you have to wake up. You need to fight for your country.
Sure. Were they South Africans who were there with SWAPO at the time? Or were they from Namibia?
They were from Namibia.
Okay.
Both Donshong, Arero, all the giants of SWAPO.
Yeah.
I met them, we met them. So some guys stayed over.
Whoa. Why?
Politics.
Yo.
Yes. Some guys stayed, they said, we're not going there. We're going to fight. We're going to the army.
Sure.
I came back and, man, I was in trouble with the cops, man. Because I was into this black consciousness.
Oh, you became public about it.
Yes. And the people who I thought were managing us, trying to help us, were the spies of the police.
Sure.
They were
in the same...
Yes. These guys...
Do you remember the name used for such people? The Askari.
The Askaris.
Yes.
So the Askaris never blela di boss or DN.
But when you started, you were not political. When you went to Namibia, you were not necessarily pushing a political position. Or were you?
No, I had this consciousness about me.
Yes.
I knew what was going wrong.
Okay.
And I wanted to make a difference.
Yes.
Because it's funny, from an early age, I was more concerned about children who were suffering more than me.
Incredible.
And after we lost our parents, we didn't have any food, man.
Sure.
Nerija makhoho nale my brother. Makhoho say makhoho motsiare makhoho. I remember one day, I really got tired of this. I was getting sick. I had a cold. I was getting sick. Karoha ka modimo.
Chocho.
But before, hey, man, so many things happened.
You're reflecting now.
Yes. Kanka mabotlolo, mabotlolo. Crush them. Kanka javela ka tshela mo. That's it.
You're going.
I'm tired of this. I'm going. I can't stand this pain.
Jesus.
I took a walk again to Mufolo Park, my favorite place. And I saw this guy, a Tsonga guy, Tsakani. Nere Tsakani is mad because he smokes marijuana. And I saw the hand calling. I went to him. And I approached him and he gave me piece of kota. And I thought about the Bible. I said, Jesus also ate his last meal. I ate.
And now you're making this a very spiritual experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
I ate after eating, you know. He passed the Zol to me.
How old are you around this age? This time?
I must have been...
It's soon after mommy died.
Yes, that's after I even went to Alexander and then I left Alexander because things were not too cool.
So you're in your teens?
Yes, I must have been 18 or so.
Okay, yeah.
18, 19.
Sure.
I said, he passed the joint and I said, anyway, it's my last day. I took one puff. When I went, everything went back this way. I said, I'm not dying. I ran home, man. I ran home. Took this thing in the toilet and I said,
that's all reversed your mind?
Yes. I said, I'm going to leave.
Wow.
I'm going to leave and I will be all right. I just have to reinvent myself, keep reinventing myself because the love of my life is no longer here. My mother is no longer here. I'm responsible for my own self.
Do you remember that line?
Yes.
About the garden?
Yes.
You are responsible for your own life.
I'd even left Lepile's house.
Sure is.
Because I felt that I don't want to be anyone's responsibility.
Sure.
You know, I left and I was a genius in school. Because high school, he brought me back to Soweto.
Okay.
You know.
Yes. Yeah.
Primary White City. He took me to Morris Isaacson.
Got you. That's a popular school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And yes.
That's where you were brewing.
Yes, the principal Amlelar. Hey, your boy is trouble, man. Your boy is trouble. And closer more, Morris Ankisako, Wabona Pila Koizida there was another high school there.
Yes. What is that? Do you remember?
Went there. I'm trying to remember. Can't remember.
Yeah.
Maybe I was there for 2 weeks. That's when Lepile come to me. You know, all
Were you trouble also there?
I was trouble, man.
Sure.
I was trouble.
Were you describe the type of trouble? Only just a delinquent, a naughty child. What type of trouble were you?
No, I guess my thinking was causing me troubles.
Political thinking?
Yes, political thinking. I believed in being black and doing black things. I didn't want anything white like ballet dancing. I said, no.
Black consciousness.
We don't do those things here. Hey, one day the cops came, man. And they came because the woman that caused my brother's death, she called the cops on us. My brother had this gun that he kept fixing. He said, the bloody bastards will get them.
Yeah.
She was listening.
Sure.
She called Hlubi. Came and took us, man. I never had such a beating in my life.
Sure.
We were naked, come Roka police station, the podium was heavy like that. I kept begging my brother, please don't drop it. And these people were beating a hell out of us for hours and hours.
And if I was to ask, what do you think they were beating you for?
For black consciousness.
For pushing for, the survival and the victory of a black man.
Yes. That's what we were getting a beating for. And at that time, I was with Gibson Kente. And this woman would listen all the time as I was rehearsing,
Oh,
she said,
these lines, of course.
They beat the hell out of me. And that was when? That was 76.
Sure.
And then after then, I kept doing my thing. They were chasing after me. I kept not staying home, sleeping there. Then Steve Biko got killed in 77. I said, I need to get the hell out of here. They're going to kill me.
What is your memory of June 16 or around that time? as a young man from Soweto who was aware of what was going on?
Well, June 16, it's funny. Coincidentally, that was the day when we came back from Namibia.
Okay. Jeez.
And we came and it was power everywhere. Everything was burning. And I came into the house. My brother had all cases of alcohol and stuff. And I said,
oh, what, they looted as well?
Yes.
Yes.
They looted.
Bottle stores and...
Yes, that's what we saw. I said, oh my God, isugile jwano.
Yeah.
Isugile. And then, it went on, came 77 now. After Stephen Biko was killed, I said, I need to get the hell out of here. I tried to follow the path to, somewhere in Africa, Botswana or somewhere. I remember a trip was planned for me. I was supposed to meet people at Mzimhlope. I was with a friend of mine, Basi, plays percussions, Matlasela.
Yes.
Man, as we were walking there toward the paper bag, I told Basi, I said, I'm not comfortable. I'm not going there.
What were you doubting?
The thing is, I'm upfront. I love the truth. Maybe that's why my family doesn't like me, because I love the truth. Yeah, but who was we?
Yes.
Ke hopola, sorry, Jampanyane. Ke zama organizer family ya ka hore, man, a re tloeleng go nwa bana, a re phedisaneng.
Yes.
But yo, ke yo tswa exile moputso wa batlo go phagama ka rona. Imagine.
That's funny. Is it after you came back?
Yes, after I came back.
Cake net. Get next.
So,
let's go back to that moment. You had the paper bag.
Yeah.
But you were not feeling
so
this.
ka bolela Basika, I'm not going there, man.
Yeah.
And it's one transport renke, irisebo mafikeng and all that car. I'm not going there. Yeah. Ke re mo ke tlo shwela nnete ka re nna ke rata nnete.
Sure.
Ka re ko se ke hela da ko high school, ko Alexandra High School. Ne ke le chairman of SEM wa bona.
Okay.
Ke na ya mzalwane yana wa bona. But now we had a world conference ko Amanzimtoti. That's why I met the Abraham Tiros and all these giants from around the world, some from Ghana and everywhere. And I realized, there's nothing Christian here. This is politics.
They are infusing it.
Yes. Yes, I was shaking then.
Wow.
Went back home. That's when I was staying with Lepile. And I was supposed to give a report as chairman of SEM. I told the students, I said, guys, there is nothing that I'm going to report. I wish you were there. That's all I said. Because
you're about to lie.
Yeah.
Because the alternative is to tell them lies about the real conference.
Yes. What
actually happened at that conference?
No, man, there were sessions and sessions. These guys were talking about politics and all that. And I realized, no, there's nothing Christian here.
Yeah.
Oh,
so you were right at home.
Yes. So I went back. And after I didn't give the report, we started to cross ways. And that's when I ended up leaving his house, I don't even want to get into that,
Jeez.
And then after Stephen Biko died, I said, I must find a way out here.
When you say out of where?
Out of South Africa. I was in pain from all the things that happened to me. And I said, I want to bring a change to this country.
What's the energy of people leaving during that time? And I'll tell you why I'm asking this question, because I'm starting a series of conversations with MK cadres.
Okay.
Those that went to Lusaka and Angola and ended up in Russia learning how to use arms.
Yes.
And I've already recorded a number of episodes in that regard.
Yes.
But I want to collect a huge series of them so we can publish them back to back.
Okay.
And there's a question that I keep forgetting to ask. That very question. That was the energy, mudumo, of Sihamba. We are leaving.
Oh, mudumo, it was serious in that.
So there was a...
Yes. There was a movement.
Yeah.
Ka re dam fulo da, ne rena le majita, ne rena le kopana dam fulo park. One the helicopter ntse di varra, one day is one day re tlo ba thola.
Ah.
Wa bona?
So it was clear.
It was clear. I said, I'm going to get out of here. And a rona plan ya rona ne le hore. We hear you saying we need to get educated. But rona ne re lebo sign over ba reng liberation first, education later.
Ah.
And I cannot be blamed for that.
I know that era very well.
Others went for education.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, those who went for education are the ones oppressing us now. Yes.
Yeah.
I won't call them by name.
No. Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
You know? But our not getting education was good too. Because our thing was, okay, guys, we're artists. We need to go and spread the word about the suffering at home.
So your leaving was not a military departure.
It was not.
I'm going to learn how to use AK-47.
No.
Yeah.
I was about information.
Okay.
I thought if they get information and start to understand that we are human beings, we cannot be treated like this in our own land. You know, maybe they'll understand.
Sure. So after the daily paperback, where you decide this is not the right trip, what do you do?
Man, I was all over. I would sleep here and out here. But the sister, my cousin died 2 weeks ago, was buried. I would sleep at the house and she'd say, the police were here looking for you. I would sleep somewhere, they'd say, police were here looking for you. Sleep at Bassie's place, they say, police were looking for you.
You were on the list.
Yes. Yes, man. So after Stephen Biko was killed, you know,
sure,
I must go. I made means. Fortunately, about the auditions, I pintombi. Got quite a staff on that. And I was a small guy. Nona Andy Chabedi. He's the main guy on our Twerida. And I know my bakes. But when I'm But now, that's one Narvaye. Now they told us that we're going overseas. You know, got the passports. But real John Foster for the passports and all that. I told the Jewish women, I said, I am not going to John Foster. They are going to kill me.
Oh, because you know you're on the list.
Yes, I know I'm on the list. Yeah. You know, 2 days before Tsamaya, about 9 Jewish lawyers, they were fighting my case. Mosadi, you know what, my boy, if you are not going with this company, I'm closing it.
Sure.
And Ablela government, if I close it, you're not getting revenue from us. You know, how did I live here? Bampile passport ya buputa tswana. That's how I left. Citizenship buputa tswana. What the hell are you talking about, man?
Well,
I'm not from Putatswana, so I left.
But it's good enough.
Yeah.
Mark, let's go.
Yeah, Kitotsi. That passport 9 hours before Tsamaya.
Were you already planning not to come back?
Oh, yes. I knew I wasn't coming back because I was on a mission to inform the world about our suffering.
Sure.
We got to Canada and, yeah, they were waiting for us, man. You know, all kinds of people came and the show closed in 8 days.
Yeah.
I was the youngest in the company. I went for political asylum.
When you say it closed in 8 days, was it meant to be longer or shorter?
We were supposed to be there forever. But the anti-apartheid movement was much stronger. Yes. And some of us in the cast decided to join them.
Even in Canada?
In Canada.
You found...
Yes, things were hot. And, you know, for some reason, I was just talking to this woman, Beth Allen, in Canada. I haven't seen her in so many years. She got me through TikTok and she got in touch with my agent.
Yes.
And I've been talking to her, you know, even last week. Wow. She's the one who was helping us to get lawyers so we can get political asylum. And she told me that she just retired from being a judge.
What?
That woman. Yes. Beth, I'm proud of you.
She became a judge.
She became a judge.
Yeah.
And she looked after me. She and her boyfriend. I used to be sick, man.
Yeah.
And my sickness was from malnutrition. I had this terrible asthma. I had nothing. Harfitla Canada, I was sleeping on the floor. Fortunately, the guy was a carpenter and Kahela Betenyana, so Azu is from Ghana.
Yes.
And that woman kept, we were very close.
How many of you stayed? Because I imagine when the production ended, some came back
Some
home.
came back.
Yes.
I think how many of us stayed? About 9 of us stayed.
Clearly saying, we're not going back home.
Yes. And we had this guy, he's a spy, Wabuteles, He was in the royal family.
When you say spy, he was...
Yes, he was
working
also
against-
working with the system, but he stayed with us. He wanted us to go to, what's this place? Not Peru. Is it Peru?
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know, guys. Nepla Nasambensie Peru.
Yeah,
And then in Peru was collaborating with the system here.
apartheid government.
Yeah, they were going to bring us back. Mina ngata anye ilapo hamba wena mafunu ke Peru leyo.
Wahlala.
Ke Peru or king? Yeah, I think so.
He didn't go.
He didn't go. He ended up coming back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he can't win with you.
Yeah. So now I went for political asylum. And I knew my facts.
Did it take long? Was it difficult for them to give you asylum?
It wasn't difficult. Nakaro was vocal. I was the first one. I remember I didn't even take oath on the Bible. Kabablela, I'm not taking oath on that Bible. I'm here asking help from you guys because of this Bible.
Yeah.
They use the Bible to steal my country. I'll take an oath in the name of God.
Yeah.
Listen what he's saying now. Listen what he's saying.
You were making news in
Oh,
Canada.
yeah. Oh, yes. I was very vocal.
Jesus.
And we were organizing Sebetsade, ANC, PAC, BCM, just file mom zabalazo, wabo. Babambar take memberships sayibone ekhaya. Manje siyazabalaza.
Did you feel in that time you were there, you actually got your message across?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Pushed. And in 18 months, I got permanent residence.
How so you have dual citizenship?
Yes, I'm a South African Canadian.
Lala.
Yes. Kayona Mpandlani. Wadlala. Yeah.
South African Canadian.
I'm a South African Canadian.
Amazing.
So, it was so amazing that I left here with so much hatred for white people. I went to Canada, and it was the white people who were showing me Boto. It was quite surprising,
Yeah.
So I welcomed all that and stayed in Canada, was everywhere, Black Theatre Canada and all that. The guys in New York, Majita Renalbo, Workshop 71.
Yes.
That's where actually I started acting when I was still in school, high school.
Jeez.
Peter's Puma.
Jeez, Prabit.
Yes,
Hey.
we started acting same day, same place.
Hey.
Elore, our mentor, Nelly Braslailo Mareti. We were doing The Prisoner of Zenda, a two-man act. Yes.
These are the guys.
These are the guys.
Jeez.
Rajwena Workshop 71 le Professor Robert McLaren Mshengu. Yeah. He was amazing, that man.
Yeah.
And then who workshop you were play more nebis were Crossroads. And then end up by survival. So it's a hard in Todiba serious go workshop 71 I had to quit. Because my uncle was so strict.
Oh,
Lepile.
Lepile.
I
Yeah.
thought he'd kill me.
Why were you not meant to be there?
Well, he thought I had super brains, Nasa batlo ke deviate from my academics and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I end up arsa tolana.
You just want to act.
Yes, I just want to act. I have a message to give to the world. So I did those things. The guys in New York, pizza bar, entate, we're going to Australia. We're doing popino again. Oh, man. Re etsa le bo mang ba re hai o tseba the late James Mthoba. Ba re James Mthoba mara khone ho tla, so we really need you. Ke bo Sets banda bo David May Brabo Braslaelo, Libo Thuli Dumagute.
Yeah.
Welcome Somi's wife. Right on, let's go, baby. But you are going to be company manager and understudy all the male roles and play the lead role. Aya Stone.
Yes.
The late James Mthoba. I went there, I did my best. But the night before Rebula Australia, my heart was going boo, anxiety.
Why?
I thought I was dying, man. Fana, help me. Doctor.
Why were you overwhelmed?
Yes, because I was overworking, trying to do everything right.
Yeah.
The doctor set me down. Just sit there, I'm coming. Drink your water. And then he came 10 minutes later. How are you feeling? No, I'm okay. Okay, you can go back and rehearse. See you later at the performance. You're not going to give me injection and all that.
Medication.
No, you are fine. It was just anxiety,
Yeah.
Please relax. So we did Australia, we did UK, we did Canada, we did Chicago, and we were supposed to do LA. And then something went wrong and bugger.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you are, your home now is Canada.
My home is Canada.
Yes.
So I said, okay, Canada, man, it makes me sick because every winter I'm sick. I can't breathe.
It's too much.
So every winter I'd go to California.
For summer.
Yeah,
yes.
Met with the guys there. And there things got very intense.
Okay.
Because we're grouping that, so we're working with Ron Dellums. Ron Dellums was like the premier of California.
Okay.
We pushed for sanctions. We pushed, Papa.
Hey.
We used to be at this office early in the morning at 6.
Pushing Mzabalazo.
Mzabalazo, Zabala. Bobra Huba Tabato performance, every push Mzabalazo, sanctions, we want sanctions. Until the pass and that. Kachoria, we're getting somewhere.
But I guess that's how we measure the success of those many years away from home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The sanctions are, we're getting somewhere.
Sure.
But now, as far as being artists, things went terribly wrong. Our guys got into serious habits. And
oh, no.
Most of the guys that I was with in California are dead now. Dead.
What type of habits?
Well, I'm not here to talk about people.
But is it tittifats? You can say yes or no.
Tittifats.
Yes.
Bujwala. Too much bujwala, too much tittifats.
Did you, based on observation, do you understand why they got into it? Was it peer pressure, different place, or the illusion of freedom? Because there's something about...
Maybe I should say the illusion of freedom.
Yeah.
How do you see America is such a free country, like Canada. People end up doing things, get into cocaine and all that. And there was one guy who warned us before Revayam or Reggie Kenke. Our guys, when you get overseas, stay away from alcohol. Because there you can drink every day. Yes. There's party every day somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
And it's true.
Where you can drink for free.
Yeah. So things went terribly wrong. And I ended up having my own band there.
You joined in the whole movement.
Yes.
And obviously the acting was not working. Or was it working?
The acting was working.
Yes.
Yes.
Were you able to make a living?
I was making a living through acting.
Yes.
And teaching workshops. I used to teach in universities, colleges, and kindergartens. Teaching African music, dance, and culture.
Sure.
We had to culturize those people. Yeah. Make them understand that we are human beings and and all that worked.
Yeah.
I used to charge something like $500 for 45 minutes session.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, man.
Standards.
Some days I'd do 3 sessions.
Yes.
3 schools in one day.
That's a lot of
In a week, I'd do 3, 4, 5, 6, and my life was well and stuff,
Yes.
And then things went bad with the guys. I had my own band with my girlfriend. She's also dead. Barbara.
So you almost like, oh, well,
Yeah,
there's another death.
She's also dead. We had our band and we pushed.
What role were you playing in the band?
I was playing bass, man.
Because when I read your story, there is music that keeps creeping
yes.
in.
I was playing bass and being the lead singer with my girl.
Was the music intentionally non-American? What type of music were you making?
Yes, African music.
Yeah.
Mpatanga, all that, Yeah. Yeah. Sihluthwa yindoda yejazi elimnyama, boom, 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 boom. Stuff like that. Oh yeah, we're getting down.
Did the music make sense to the audience?
Yes, they love it. You see, the funny thing is that out there in the West, you get appreciated more for being yourself and living your way, your cultural way.
That is true.
Yeah.
But
here at home, oh boy, I thought I was coming to a warm country. I came back to a cold country.
We'll get there. Do you know why? Because you see that line you just said?
Yes.
The research I've done reflects your feeling about coming back exactly that way.
Yes.
Maybe you say you've said it many times before, but it reflects that way. It wasn't a warm reception at all. But we'll get to it.
Okay.
I want to stick around go America ganyane.
Yeah.
And Canada.
Yes.
Do you get inspired to start a family? You said there was a girlfriend, but what are your intentions? Because I imagine the plan was never to come back, or was it to come back at some point?
We were coming back. We knew that freedom is coming.
Okay.
Yes.
You were clear.
I was clear about that.
But what got you to believe it? Because at some point, when the Mandelas of this world were in prison, there was a point where it seemed like this thing was just too far. It'll never be reached.
No, but you see, it depends on people's psychology, I guess, or people's thinking, or people's resistance, because that's what builds a hope for the future. We knew that freedom is coming, noma kanjani. We knew that. Even when Bongeni came, before I went to Australia, that's when I was still under political assessment. He wanted me to come to Sarafina.
Okay.
I was talking to Ndaba Mhlongo and all these guys.
So via Australia, back to South Africa?
No, before Australia.
Okay.
I was still in Canada. So, you see, after you apply for political asylum, they give you 18 months whereby you can't travel. So that's how I couldn't be in Sarafina. I said, okay, let that go.
Jeez.
But the good thing is that in Canada, soon as we got there, I've been looking at my sister there, Busi Mhlongo. We lived with Busi Mhlongo.
Wow.
Yes.
You found her there?
She found us there.
Okay.
She came from the States. And she was also on the run from something in the States. Something was not going right. She came to Canada.
But she had left South Africa with the same, almost similar intentions as you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she came and my sister was sick, She used to tell me that, you know what? I'm sick. I have cancer. And all that. And she used to tell me that, you when I'm with you, I feel so healed. I don't feel pain.
Wow.
We lived for 3 years together, me, Basi, and Busi.
Amazing.
We lived together. She was everything to us. She used to cook call it ingxubevange. Mix everything, stampo, everything. I think ingxubevange asidleni bafowethu,
Jeez.
And through her, we met a lot of jazz musicians. Bosandra Art Ensemble of Chicago, Bodon Cherry, and we played with these guys.
Jeez.
We played.
Was she already quite established as a musician?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Busi is a queen overseas,
Vicky, then she was Vicky.
Vicky, yes. Vicky's a queen overseas.
Yeah.
She was well known. We used to play with her, Basi played guitar, play bass,
Yeah.
and she would sing. Yeah, yele, 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 yele. Gung, 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 gang, 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 gang. Gung, 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 gang, gang, gang. That's called stars. I'm still gonna do that music.
Jeez.
Yes.
Wow.
And we learned so much from Busi Mhlongo. She was such an amazing woman.
So she ended up staying long in Canada. Longer than, because remember, she was in America.
She was in America,
Yes.
came to Canada, but for some reason, there was this thing again. Kaifa Semenya was coming to Zimbabwe. That's when they were going to do, Cry Freedom?
Okay.
Yes. And Busi was hooked up with that too. She came with Kaifas.
Close to South Africa, but not quite.
Yes, but we couldn't come,
Because of that asylum. Is it because of that asylum arrangement?
I think it was after the asylum.
Yes.
Yeah. We couldn't come. She came.
Yeah.
That's how she left Canada.
And never came back.
And when she came to Zimbabwe, she said, I'm not going back. Then she came back home.
Yes.
And then when she was here home, I stayed in touch with her and she was sick and I used to phone her and stuff. I sent her this book. I'm trying to remember the name of that book. That book is about attracting positive energy.
Okay.
Maybe you might remember.
About affirmations and things like that.
Yes.
Okay.
I sent her that book.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, she passed away. And I
no.
said, oh, God. Me and her, we used to fantasize and say, one day we're going to buy our own island, stay there and just be artists.
Yes.
Busi Mhlongo.
Yeah. What was the Canadian government in general quite welcoming of these asylum seekers?
I'll tell you, my brother, Canada is the best country in the world, as far as my perception. I lived there. I saw how the government functions, and, so far prime ministers in Canada, for some reason, they smoke marijuana. Even the prime minister now, he smokes marijuana.
Yes.
Pierre Trudeau's son,
Yeah.
Canada is very welcoming to asylum seekers, from everywhere. And it's a very good place if you have a family, you want your kids to get education. And the government is so amazing. That's why it's the best for me.
Yeah.
Even though they took the North American Indians' land, but Canada is the best, the most understanding.
Yeah.
As compared to America, America was a bit way too racist for me. Because black men there are treated like flies. They die like flies, even today. That's why I said, I cannot stay in America.
You stay in Canada.
Yeah. Even Canada now got too cold. I said, I'm going home.
How long were you there for?
18 years, 9 months, 6 days, and a couple of hours.
18 years.
Yes.
Almost 19 years. Because it's 18 years and 9 months.
Yes.
Whoa.
I went there. I was maybe 21 years old. I came back in 96.
Sure.
And whilst I was there, I was doing everything for my family, my brother, my sister. Every 3 months, I would send them big boxes of clothes, for their children and stuff. And I thought I was doing good. Oh, God, maybe I wasn't. I was doing a bad thing.
Yeah, why do you say that?
No, because
you're always doing good if you're helping family, but why do you say that?
I was told that, hey, look, I'm building back rooms here in a garage so that when you come back, you can have your own little space there. And my brother, the first night I came back, I wasn't even allowed to enter the yard. We spent maybe an hour at the gate. He said, you are not my brother.
Whoa.
And I finally convinced him. I got into the yard. We sat outside on the green grass. And I pulled out a bottle of single malt whiskey. I said, anyway, I'll drink with him until the morning. His wife didn't even wake up to greet me. I didn't get in the house. We kept drinking that whiskey. Then came 5 o'clock in the morning. I said, Baba, I want to go to Alex, to my sister. because the reception was just not there.
The same people whom you used to send clothes when you were in Canada.
I know, man. I did the best for them.
Yeah.
I did the best, and circumstances led to me being kicked out of the house, being told that it used to be my home, but it's no longer my home.
Was this the house that you grew up in?
Yes.
Yo.
The house where my
Umbilical cord.
umbilical cord was buried.
It's buried in that yard.
Yes, I was told. Person non grata.
Yeah.
It was said, nothing has hurt me more than that. That was a heavy one. I ended up being homeless now.
I want to talk slightly about now it's time to go home.
Yes.
What was going on in your mind and in your surrounding when you are now 18 years and 7 months in Australia, in Canada?
Yeah.
When now the thought of going back home is starting to make more and more sense. What was going on? I know what was going on in the country.
Yes.
But in your mind?
Well, I had come back from the States, ne? And I came back to this brother in Toronto with my equipment, trumpets, everything and all that. Put everything in his house. Slept there. The following day, I saw there was a jazz festival. I said, I'm going to the jazz festival. I went there. When I came back, my equipment gone.
Even.
The guy is nowhere. I asked the neighbors. They said, oh, no, your friend, your brother is a drug addict. So the dealers were here looking for their money. I got angry, man. They told me, no, you can find them there. Where? I went there and challenged them.
Sure.
I challenged them. I said, you know what? I'm bad, baby. I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm from Oakland. I'm from California. You know Digital Underground? You know Tupac? Those are my friends. They're coming here.
You're scaring them. Is it working?
Hell is going to hit the roof, I told them.
Yeah.
I said, I must get my instruments or else the cops are going to get involved as well. Gosh, man. I was threatening the drug mafia. So I took my things from that guy's house, went to this white guy's place. He had a restaurant and upstairs he had a room. They were following me.
Sure.
I took a walk, just thinking, what am I going to do? Coming back, fire trucks all over. They burned my flat, burned it down.
It's not even the whole building. It's not even yours.
Yes, the whole block burning. And I called this other woman, Joan Letchford. She's also one of the women who helped us to stay there. She said, Setlhabi, I think you're dealing with the mafia. They are trying to shut you up. And gosh, I was panicking.
Sure.
I started hiding, and I said, I'm not going to die here. I'm going home. I'm going home.
Sure.
And I was staying with this other brother, a colored brother. He had 2 beautiful daughters. He said, come to my house. He loved my talent. Him and his wife, they said, you are a cool guy. You can be a brother to our daughters. I said, no, I'm going home. They said, what home are you talking about? I said, no, my parents' house.
Yeah.
My brother's still there and my sister is there. She's married. And this guy said, you know what? You are dreaming. You'll go there and things will be so different. It won't last for 2 weeks. And it's true.
Jeez.
It did not last.
In the 18 years you were in Canada, did you ever come back at all? Did you ever come home?
I came back in 94.
For years, just before or during elections?
Just after elections. I think it was in September when I came.
Okay.
Me and my friend Welcome is still in Toronto.
Were you able to vote in Canada at the time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, coming back here.
94.
94. We had a stop in London, stay over. then connect the flight. Then we came here. Went to, it was still Jan Smuts Airport. Went to Forex exchange and stuff and changed my money and all that. Man, I was loaded, went home.
Yeah.
My brother was saying, hey man, look, I need to pay these bills and these bills. I gave him Luca, you know.
Same house.
Same house.
Your parents' house.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then as we were coming to Alexander, remember I told you that just the following day after we stayed out all night, he said, let me go to the bank to go pay. I was waiting outside. He came and called me and said, man, come inside here. I said, what's wrong? He said, no, come. I went inside. They said, brother, these are fake. This money is fake. I said, how's that possible? Fake money?
Yes. You got it at the airport?
At the airport. I said, no. I'm a Canadian. Look at all this. I got it at the airport. And I'm going to embarrass somebody here.
Yes.
And they said, okay, we'll call the airport. They phoned the airport. And the airport said, please tell him to come. We'll fix him. They were trying to hush everything. I went to the airport. In 2-3 minutes, they gave me proper money. And I said,
they were trying to rob you.
Yes. I wanted to expose them, but I said, hey, what if they come and kill me now?
Oh, no, they were trying to rob you.
Let me wait until I get out, then I'll expose them.
Well, now, you're doing it 30 years later.
Yeah. 6 weeks, then we went back.
Jeez.
But now, in 96, when I got really fed up and the mafia after me and all that, I bought a single ticket. I was really fed up. Single ticket, I'm coming home, mind you.
What were you looking to find here at home? Because you had nothing here, technically. Not a place to sleep. What were you looking to find?
Well, I was expecting, to join the masses in rebuilding this country. I really believed in that. And I thought I would get support from my family. I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Sure. And that was so disappointing. I became homeless.
Yeah. How? I don't understand. This is the same brother that 2 years earlier, you gave money to pay his bills.
Yes.
Hey.
I went through the offices and all that and found out that he has a title deed for the house. I investigated it. It took me about 2 years to find the truth. I came to this office, Mopumulong. They opened the files. They said, no, man. Your brother and your sister came here and they said you are in exile and they hear that you might be dead.
Sure.
So they were saying, it's better your brother take the title deed.
and you had seen them a few years earlier.
Yeah.
And now they see you are dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, man, that's cold.
That is cold.
And I said, now how can we fix things? They said, well, it's a high court case. You need 50,000 to challenge that. Where hell would I get 50,000?
Sure.
So as I was coming back in 96, I had to change in Scotland, connect South African Airways to come here.
Okay.
I got stopped by black guys. I guess ANC guys. I said, hey, you're not going to South Africa. Who are you? I said, hey, I'm a South African, man. I'm South Africa, man.
Yes. You've been making your language deliberate.
Yeah.
Yes.
They said, no. You're not a South African. Where's your ticket? I showed them. They said, this is a single ticket, man. You need a return ticket because you are Canadian. I said, what are you talking about? I'm a South African. They said, brother, you are banned in South Africa. You are no longer a citizen. You have no ID. You are nothing.
How did that even happen? What was happening? Did you understand?
No, because I took a political asylum.
Oh.
You see?
Yes.
So when you take political asylum, they cancel everything of yours.
Sure. And this is in 96.
96.
You had already come home in 94.
Yes.
Without any problem.
Without problems. But I was traveling on a Canadian passport, you see.
Oh, boy.
So I spent, I don't know how many hours at the airport in Scotland. I just couldn't believe this. I said, do I go back to Canada? And I phoned my sister. I said, look, I'm stuck here in Scotland and I need money fast, so that I can have a return ticket.
Yes.
When I come back, I will reimburse you. She did that.
Yeah.
I must have spent maybe 18 hours in that airport.
Yo.
And I met this old Scottish man. He said, you guys in South Africa are in trouble. If you let Mandela out of jail, you are going to have democracy. And that democracy is not going to bear fruit for you. You guys should go socialist so that tables can be evened. And I heard what he was saying.
And this was a message that was said 28 years ago.
Yes. So I came back, my brother. I was here. Now I'm homeless.
What do you do? Where did you live?
Mfulo Park.
Eh,
You know that 5 Roses bowl?
eh, eh.
I used to sleep on a table, a hard table. This one is soft.
And Mfulo Park is 5 minutes away from home.
Not even 5, 3 minutes. I stayed there for something like 3 years, my brother.
Wait a minute. That doesn't make sense.
But I went to my uncle Lepila, said, look, I have a problem here. I need you to help me reapply for this citizenship.
And at that time, that Taunyane is quite prominent.
Yes.
Yes.
And he helped me a great deal to reapply. It was just me and him.
Sure. You had to regain your South African citizenship.
Yes.
But that was not the reason you were homeless. You were homeless because the family was not taking you in. Is that correct?
Yes, I guess, again, lack of understanding of the politics, of asylum and being banned and all that. They thought I'm a lazy bum. I don't want to work. I remember at one time, my brother got me a job. He brought this guy. He said he can give me a job to put tiles. He'll train me. You know how much the guy offered me?
Yeah.
He said, I'll pay you 10 rand a day.
Sure.
I said, to hell with that, man. I'm not doing that.
I'd rather be without food.
Yeah. So I was homeless, man, living at Mfulo Park.
How did you, what was a typical day for you at that time? Because it's 3 years is not short. You clearly must have developed a pattern of sorts. What was your typical day?
My equipment, I kept selling it, just to keep eating and stuff, Kept selling my equipment until when I was broke, I would eat if I had 3 magwinya a day, I would be fine. 1 gwinya breakfast, 1 legwinya lunch, 1 legwinya dinner.
Sure.
I used to smoke cigarettes. If I had 1 cigarette, I would buy Rizlas and I would smoke, I don't know how many, 6 cigarettes, small little.
You will make small little cigarettes.
Yeah, small little cigarettes.
Sure.
But you see, I had this thing that kept me strong. As I was staying there, homeless, sleeping under those weird vibes at Mfulo Park. Many people have been killed there. That place is spooky.
Sure.
At night, doors would be shaking and...
Sure.
But I would wake up, light a candle and pray and said, protect me, Lord. Turn the candle off and sleep. And I'll be fine.
You became a bum, proper street person.
Oh, yes. It was bad.
Were there people you could call? People whom you've probably met in your travels around the world?
No, I couldn't call anybody.
Yeah.
Because I'm home now. And the first reception was just bad. And man, that hit me hard. But what kept me strong is that for those 3 years, I was collecting kids around Mfulo, White City, and all kids, Zondi. I was teaching them at 5 Roses, teaching them dance and singing and acting and all that. That kept me busy.
Sure.
And that was all for free,
Of course.
Yes.
These are kids.
Yes.
Guys,
I was saying, Giri, let me give back.
Yo.
That really kept me going. And for free. Some of the kids are taught and all that, the guys, they are dead too.
Sure.
That really hurts me.
Mm.
You know, that hurts me.
Didn't the family find out where you were? Because you were down the road.
The family knew where I was.
Nothing.
The family used to tell me that in our home, there was peace until when I came back.
Oh, yeah.
That's why there was all those fights and all that. And I said, and the neighbors too were saying that. And I said, my God, I don't believe this.
That's crazy.
It got bad. It got bad. You know, some days for me to eat, I would look around and see where there was a funeral or wedding. Wait until the funeral is over and the wedding, and I'd go help clean. And they'd give me the leftovers and stuff. And
we all know those guys.
yeah.
We all know those guys, Kokasi, who come around. You know, they're busy. They're helping. They're carrying heavy things.
Yes.
And then all they want is a plate of food.
I know. I did that, man, and I was at Mofolo Park, and there was this friend of mine, Kila Mabulala. He's also dead. He lived in Germany, got married, had a child or children there. And his 2 sons are also dead. I used to teach them. He used to come there at the park, and I used to ask him for money. And you say, my brother, I don't have anything, man. I don't have anything. At least you are in heaven. Look at this. You see the skies and all this. Shit, man.
Used to make fun of your condition.
Yes. I said, what's this guy talking about, man? I need help. And he's telling me that I'm in
You're
heaven.
in heaven. Because you sleep in the stars outside.
I took that with a pinch of salt. You know, I was strong. I knew that, look, I'm an artist.
How do you eventually overcome this? I imagine that Taunyane helps you to get your citizenship back.
Yes, that came much later.
Yes.
Yes, after 3.5 years and stuff.
You. That.
You know, I got strong by remembering my mission as a cultural worker. You know. That,
as an activist.
Yes, that kept me going. I said, I'm going to remain strong. I know things will come right.
And you did.
Oh, yes. After I got my papers, temporary, whatever ID, I think I got an agency. Somebody told me about an agency. There was this advert, a big one, a Guinness Stout advert. There was the late Brad David Petwe, a lot of artists. Who's the lady we talked about earlier?
Abigail Kubeka.
Abigail Kubeka was there. A whole lot of artists. There was about 300 artists for that advert.
They're there auditioning.
Yes. I got in, man. We went to Port St. John's. Yeah. It was nice. Yeah.
That was the first of many to come.
Yes. That was the first of many to come.
Yes.
And I said, I'll be all right. And I started renting rooms in Mufullo. And my family was calling me Mr. Room. They say he moves from room to room.
Why were you moving around?
I'm not here to talk about
Yeah, but
people.
what were you moving around? What was the reason?
You know how landlords are.
Yeah.
When you are good and you are paying your rent, they take you for granted.
Oh.
So you're always looking for a better place, to live. And
yeah. Did it get better and better?
It did, man.
Yeah.
That's why I'm where I'm at today.
Jeez. From that,
at least my
that milk stout.
Oh, yes. And then jobs kept coming. Braslailo, Maredi, is to make place. You'd go to State Theatre, do that, and Market Theatre, do that, and things kept coming.
Sure.
But today, I have a home for my children.
Amazing.
Out of the township, in Robertsham. And
sure.
I'm proud that I became very strong. I said,
"You never
I'm
stopped.
not letting up here."
Do you remember that little boy that crushed a glass and bottles? You didn't get to that point where you wanted to completely give up.
No. I couldn't give up.
Yeah.
After that one puff, I said, I ain't giving up. Never.
And you realize that those moments happen at the same place.
Same place.
The park.
Yes.
The path that reversed everything happened at the park.
Yes.
You slept at the park
I
and lived
slept
at the park for 3
and
years.
I grew up at the park.
Yes.
You know, I used to go to the park every day when I was growing up.
Does it still have a meaning for you?
The park?
Yeah.
It still has. But now, you know, everything has deteriorated in the townships. It doesn't have the same meaning as it used to have before.
That's sad.
You know?
That's very sad. Let's go back to a moment.
Yeah.
That name Gibson Kent.
Yes.
It's a popular name in this room.
Mhm.
It is spoken about a lot. 2 people are spoken about a lot in this room. That the Gibson Kent and Chico Twala, they get the most mentions.
Yes.
Because it seems a lot of people have crossed paths with them
Yes.
right at the beginning of their careers.
Yes.
How did you end up with the Gibson Kent crew and all of that?
Okay. So, you know, after Peter Spuma and the guys from Workshop 71 left for New York doing survival, I started pushing. I wanted to join Gibson Kent. There was no opportunity. I put my Mzabalazo gang together. We used to rehearse there in Orlando. I started working with Bingo Mbonjeni. You remember him?
Okay, yes, I do.
The late.
Another big name.
Oh, big name.
Yes.
And I started working with, oh man, there's a lot of them. There was another filmmaker. What's his name? I worked with Bingo Mbonjeni. This one was from PE.
Yes.
You know, I worked with him as well. And I found my way through Gibson Kent. You know, Peter Spuma said, come to Gibson Kent. I went there, audition. He liked me, said, you have a nice profile, my boy, come here.
Who did you find? Because whenever people speak about the Gibson Kent time, I realize that different people find different people when they arrive.
Yes.
Because people were in transit at Gibson Kent.
Yes.
Do what they do and move on to bigger things. So who did you find when you got to Gibson Kent?
When I got to Gibson Kent, I found Ndaba Mhlongo, the late, may his soul rest in peace. Mary Twala.
Jeez.
Zagiti. You know, Zagiti Kumalo, Braboiki Piliso, Bra Styles. He just passed away the other day. You know Styles from Randfontein. You know, Themba Mokoena, the guitarist, he's still alive. You know, Mzi Khumalo, remember the big boxing promoter? Me, Mzi Khumalo, and Themba Mokoena, we used to connect.
Yeah.
Because Mzi used to be the driver of Gibson Kent's bus.
Okay.
And Themba used to sit there in front with his guitar playing, and I used to sit with them, and we used to talk about lots of things.
Yeah.
And Mzi used to talk about boxing and stuff. So when so
his dreams were always there. The boxing dreams were always there. Yes.
Oh, yes. Mzi was really into boxing.
Yeah.
So when I was overseas, I used to read once in a while Rikrabo Di Bona, and that Mzi is a big promoter and all that. And I was proud.
You made it.
Yes, I said, he made it. I came back, Themba is still there and he's still playing.
Still playing.
Wow.
Plays for a lot of people. Yes. But your time at Gibson Kent is, did you do a lot of shows? Was it a...
Oh, yes. When I joined, we did this play called Too Late. Yes. And I remember during the filming of How Long,
yes,
I was there. But now there was a situation. I was in love with this girl as Tutu, you know.
Was it one of the...
I had a crush on her. Beautiful girl, and she could sing. She used to be called the Black Barbara Streisand.
Yo.
Yes. So she was a friend to Nomsanene. So Peter was in love with Nomsanene. I love this one, but and Gibson Kent took him, man. Hey, my heart was boom.
You're competing with the boss.
With the boss, man.
It's never gonna happen.
And the boss, you know, started resenting me, and I started to resent him, and After a while, I said, you can go to hell, Gibson, man. I'll do my own thing, man.
That's how you left Gibson.
Yeah, I left
because of a girl.
I left DOCC and you see Orlando High. There's that school down there. I was doing my thing down there. I said, I'll do my thing. I will reinvent myself.
And did your thing work?
It was working.
Yes.
But now the problem, that's when I was working with Ascaris.
And you were not aware?
I wasn't aware because we were being promised to go to Germany and all that. And those things never materialized. But my life was getting in danger.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
So Gibson,
go ahead.
Gibson was quite amazing.
I wanted to find out, do you think your life would have been any different at all if you had stayed? When you reflect back in that moment. Because you wouldn't have stayed. You wouldn't have met the Ascari, for example. If you had stayed, Gibson, do you think your life would have been different at all?
I would have died, man. I would have died.
Why do you say that?
No, I was too radical. My thinking was too radical as far as the arts are concerned. You see, I wanted everything African. And I wasn't compromising. I grew up doing these things and I wasn't looking back. You know, I always felt I want to do more. You know, I want to know more like Shaka and, you know, all those things, you know, the Mshweshwe and all that. And the teachers in school, there was this teacher from Lesotho, Teacher Letsaba. He was very political. He used to say, you guys go for it. This is your land. I'm from Lesotho, but this is your land. If I'd stayed at Gibson Kent, I would be dead, man. I would be dead. If I'd stayed in this country, I would be dead.
They would have hunted you down.
Oh, yes. And the net was closing in on me.
Yeah.
It was.
You left at the right time.
The right time.
Sure.
That's why you see that Bophuthatswana passport. I accepted it because I knew that this is my exit permit. But I knew I was coming back.
You had such a complicated citizenship, if you think about it.
I know.
You left the country as a foreigner.
Yeah.
Because at the time, Bophuthatswana
was not recognized.
Was not a South African country.
Yes.
So to speak. And that's how you left.
Yes.
And you got there. You think you're South African. Your papers are saying
something
you're not.
Different.
Yes.
But you see, that made a case for me. For me to get political asylum.
Exactly.
I said, look, this is the passport they gave me.
I just got it.
Do you know this country? They said, no. I said, that's my case. And you see what even furthered my case is that there was an iron curtain, in theaters. So before the show started, they had a big picture of Stephen Biko in front.
Whoa.
And yet the show we're doing was a happy-go-lucky show. And they were saying things about Steve Biko. They were trying to justify this happy-go-lucky show. You see? So that made the case for me.
Yes.
To get political asylum.
What? Yeah. And even now, you carry different citizenships.
Yes.
I guess now it's not such a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, but my brother, I'm not satisfied.
Yes.
I'm still crying.
What?
My country is bleeding. My country is bleeding. People are suffering here. Yeah. We are suffering.
When you reflect back to that time and the consciousness of this group of people who are fighting for a free South Africa, we are having this conversation now, 30 years later, with the complicated election, and I'll call it that for lack of a better reference, because it is quite complicated.
Yes.
It could have been easy, and it's not. And the longer we stay in these coalition talks, the more complicated it gets. Do you feel that we've achieved much when you reflect? Because remember, we're dealing with a country that reflects on a Tintswalo. You remember that lady Tintswalo's life has gotten better.
Yes.
Tintswalo didn't have water in 1994. Tintswalo didn't have electricity in 1994 or just before 1994, and so forth and so forth. We can go on and describe Tintswalo's life. And do you reflect back at that time when you were this South African who are wanting to fight for freedom and today's freedom that we get? What do you see when you reflect?
We haven't achieved anything.
Not even one.
Our land hasn't come back. As long as our land doesn't come back, we are nothing.
Yo.
We are just, being ruled by these colonials.
They say you can buy the land.
That's rubbish.
Say you can buy it. And there's an argument that says if you can prove that your land was stolen, show the evidence.
What evidence? When they came here in 1652, they didn't buy this land. They were raping our people and killing our people. And they took our land, and our land is not back. Things are getting worse. The Tinswalo that's being talked about probably lives in a mukuku, not in our own land. This is our land, and it must come back. And I don't see why we should pay for our land to come back. My father's land was taken in Klerksdorp. My family's land was taken in Klerksdorp. And do you know how much I got for it? 3,500 rands. That's what I got.
Do you remember the size of the land?
I don't even know the size. Because the woman who was negotiating all that, she probably didn't have any political understanding of what's happening.
Sure.
And we were getting shares, everyone, the whole family, 3,500. What the hell is that? Is there land that costs 3,500?
Definitely not.
Yeah. My father used to have a big plot there. Yes. And all that is gone. Yes.
So you're saying very little has been achieved?
Very little.
This
Nothing has been. What's been achieved is the political freedom, which is not. It also doesn't mean anything. Because we are not ruling this land. This land is ruled by foreigners. You look at Cape Town, for instance. South Africa is run by England, by America, by France, by Germany, and all these Western countries. We don't have our land back. And as long as things remain that way, we are nothing. We cannot negotiate anything.
What do you think is the reason? And I ask this question because you are so conscientized at such an early age.
Yes.
You are aware of the inequalities of the country at a very early age.
Yes.
And you are one of those that actually took action. Unlike those that stayed and did nothing at all. And I'm not saying those who stayed did nothing, because South Africa was won on multiple fronts. It was won by those who were imprisoned, was won by those that were exiled, that were keeping the message
and those
going, and those who were here, who actively kept the fire going.
Yes.
And when you look back and you say very little has been achieved, but from a young person who was quite conscientized, what do you think? Because I imagine our politicians were the same. Let's give them credit. They were the same as those that were fighting for this very freedom.
Yes.
And then what happened? Like, imagine if it was one of you, if it was yourself in 1994, or when you came back in 96 and they called and said, Taunyane, Minister of Arts and Culture. What do you think happened to these people? To these politicians who fought for freedom, and now they came back and became big people with big names and big offices?
Remember what the late Mr. Mangope said? He said, Litlo busa yange mapantiti.
Jojo.
No truth is bigger than that.
Sure.
Because, with mapantiti, it's all mob psychology. They only care about themselves. They don't care about anybody else. And it's the truth. We have to learn to speak the truth here in South Africa. Yeah. Only the truth will free us. If we keep dilly-dallying around the facts, we're not going anywhere. Yes.
Where we are now, I didn't think this conversation would be political, but it is. Where we are now,
yes,
in 2024, we are recording this in the week when coalition talks are happening.
Yes.
We assume they're happening. We hope they're happening. And we are a few days away from the 15 days where they have to be in parliament.
Yes.
They have to convene and elect a president. What, in your opinion, looking at the situation now, has brought this country? Because it's on its knees, whether we agree or not, because it's quite complicated.
Mm-hmm.
What, in your opinion, has brought us here? This is the same political party that has won a majority many, many times. Is it 6 times or so?
Mm-hmm.
What has brought us here? Are we saying South Africans are now aware? They've woken up to this dream? Or what is exactly happening in South Africans' mind?
No, South African.
And majority of South Africans.
The majority of South Africans are starting to wake up.
Mm.
But, how so? First thing when you wake up, we pumula di toko before you can do anything.
You still can't see properly.
Right now, sanse re pumula di toko. That's what's happening.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what happened in these 2024 elections may stay for a while. Or it may stay like this for a while.
It actually is going to get worse before the real change comes.
Do you think the government of national unity is a good idea?
No.
However way they present it.
If we have a government of national unity with people that stole our land, what are we talking about?
Akiri, we are trying to unify and we've always been a non-racial country. So we're saying, let us come together.
But for the past 30 years, we've been a non-racial country, but racism is so rampant in this country. Racists are worse than during apartheid time.
What makes you say that? You get arrested for saying kafir now.
Yeah, but look at Orania. What the hell is that? As a government, would you allow that and you say we are non-racial?
Yeah.
And you allow for Orania to go its own way? And what is that?
Oh, by the way, there was one EFF voter in Orania.
One.
Only one. I wonder who in that a place where there's all white.
Yes.
There was one who crossed on EFF. I wonder what was going on in their mind. It's an unlikely vote. We have to at least agree on that.
Yes.
It's an unexpected vote.
Yes.
So is there hope? As a young militant cadre of activism in South Africa fighting for freedom, do you think where we are today, is there hope for a better South Africa?
My brother, for a better South Africa, we need to get our land back. Because without our land, nothing is going right for us. We used to farm and all that. We are no longer doing that.
What do you say to an argument that says even if you got the farm, you're an actor? What do you know about this? Leave farms to those that know what to do with it, that can actually create jobs with that farm or with that land.
No, but we knew how to deal with the land until when the colonizers came, took our land, brought us into locations like Soweto and a whole lot of locations around South Africa, took us away from our farms, our land.
Yeah.
So where they put us, it's barren land. You cannot do much in Soweto. Where you kill a road, you see all those cows and goats. They eat plastic. They eat all the dirty things.
They do.
Because there is nothing. Even animals can get a decent grass to eat. We need to get our land back. It's our land. It's our right. We're not doing anyone a favor. It's our land. Give it back to us. And then we will share it with everyone who lives in the country. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there hope? Is there hope?
Well, there is hope. If we let the youngsters, run the country. We have way too many old people trying to run the country, and they're running the countries, getting all the money they can get and live the luxury life that they want, that nobody's getting.
Do you regret your efforts in fighting for a better South Africa, seeing and looking at what we got out of this freedom?
I don't regret, because freedom is not free, my brother. Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
People have died. People who came before us, most of them have died fighting for freedom.
Yeah.
What we call freedom, what we have now, and it's not yet Uhuru. It will only be Uhuru after we get our land back. It's as simple as that. If we don't get our land back, there's no freedom. Yes.
We can talk all we want.
We can talk all we want.
Yeah.
You know? Give us our land back and we'll know how to deal with it.
Yeah. All right. Hey, I've spoken about politics so much in the last few months of my life. Let's change subject. We're changing gears. We're going back to your industry.
Okay.
You're saying it slowly started working out.
Yes.
The prospects of your career now are starting to work out. You're moving from room to room. Go follow.
Yes.
And life is coming together. At what stage do you think I hit the big one now? I got the big job. What was it?
Well, to be honest to you, I haven't reached that stage of saying I'm hitting the big one.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that the day when I'm fully independent, running my own productions and creating jobs for the ones who cannot create jobs for themselves.
Yeah.
That is my aim.
How is that going?
It's coming very well. I cannot elaborate on it. You start telling them what you are doing, the next thing, project won't happen.
Yes.
Yes. But as an artist, as a cultural worker, I've had to reinvent myself since my mother passed away, knowing that I depend on myself.
Yes.
But I haven't reached that point yet.
It's still coming.
It's still coming.
Do you feel that, and because we age,
yes,
do you feel that you're right on course in terms of the way you see your life right now? You're still on course. Nago is still in your favor.
Nago is still in my favor.
Yeah.
Because I have a long way to go, Baba.
You're not
still going to be
yet.
alive.
There's an article that opens with the line, Setlhabi still alive. You should find it on the internet.
Yeah.
Did somebody ever think you were dead?
Well, it's funny, that most people wish me dead. Yes, even those that I thought were my colleagues. I get so many messages in my inboxes, people saying, you haven't done anything, you'll never do anything, you are nobody. Yes. But
You know why? Why is that happening?
Well, because maybe, I think the way I think. Because I grew up telling myself that this is my life. It goes my way at my time.
Yeah.
Yes. So people don't like me for that because I call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
I don't believe in getting handouts. I believe in getting big piece of the pie. Yeah. If I'm not getting it, I don't blame anybody. I blame myself for not working harder to create it myself.
As the industry, your industry of people who appear on TV, has it been good to you? Has it given you the slice of the pie that you feel you deserve?
Well, I only got a little piece of the pie. Yes. And I can say that because now I have our own house. Me, my wife, and my children. That's the little piece of a pie that I got.
You feel you deserve more?
Oh, yes. I deserve a whole lot more. But I don't expect anyone to come and give me. I will create it myself. I am working on it. And until my mission is done, I am not dying.
Yeah. You will
Yes.
hang around long enough to achieve.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I'm going to hang around long enough. And I'm making sure that I stay alive.
The conversations that I have in this room with a lot of actors and people in your industry speak of how difficult it is, particularly with finances, that it looks good on paper, it looks good on TV, it looks good when there are billboards on the highway, but it's not an easy career. What is your comment to that?
Well, it's a dog-eat-dog industry. Like, for instance, in Canada, when you first got there, for every interview on TV or radio, we were getting paid $100 a minute.
An interview that promotes the show.
Yes. We were getting $100 a minute. The money that we make here at home is nothing. That's why most South African artists who are making it now, they are working overseas.
Yeah.
Because out there, you get respected for being an artist, for being who you are, for specializing in whatever you do. But here at home, you are just a part of creating revenue for somebody, not for yourself. What we get here at home is petty cash.
Sure. When you say for somebody, is it production houses or the TV stations? Because there are two layers. Or maybe there's another layer I'm not aware of.
Well, you see, this industry is very multi-layered. Yes. And you find that so many of these layers are making money. But the artists, forget it.
Sure.
Artists are not making money. Why? Because whatever salary you get every month, that's all you get. There's no medical aid, there's no pension fund, there's no UIF, there is nothing. You are only as good as your last salary.
Yeah.
So that's the situation. How could you make a way forward with that? And in my case, I'm not one of those artists who's on the boat saying, I'm a celebrity. I'm a cultural worker. It's as simple as that. I only seek what's right, not just for me, but for my people as a whole.
What is at the root of the challenges that artists are facing in South Africa? Why is it that there are two and many options, I imagine, but I'm thinking of two possibilities where the industry players like yourselves are saying, well, I guess this is the wrong job for me. I'm not able to sustain a decent life and maybe go and look for another job where I get paid every month. That's one option. Another option which is my favorite option, where actors and those that play in the space say, let us come together collectively and create a loud enough voice for us to actually get somebody to hear us. We are crying and our cries are not heard.
Well, you see, in this country, it's such a pity that the crumbles, are very few. And everybody is trying to get those crumbles.
Oh, well.
Do you know what I mean?
When does...
Nobody is looking after nobody. Everyone is looking to get a contract for themselves.
So there's no...
No one wants to work with the other, with other artists.
Because we're all trying to survive.
We're all trying to survive. And at the same time, we are scared of the unknown. You always hear artists saying, hey, if this show closes, how am I going to pay my bond? What are my children going to eat? Why are we so scared of the unknown?
Sure.
We are scared to, challenge ourselves, challenge our minds, and create our own thing as artists.
So the option, the one that I like, seems like it's unlikely. They're coming together and forming a collective that will fight the system,
Well, that,
so to speak.
I don't see that happening soon. Yeah.
Individually,
Because hunger is way too much. I've heard artists who have a contract sending in my inbox that you are sitting at home, you are lazy, you are doing nothing. And their God is greater because they are working. Not understanding that God loves us all. And God is like a clock. He keeps going around to each and every one of us.
Sure.
Of
course.
And if, I'll tell you about this teacher, Letsaba, from Lesotho. He used to tell us that, education is not about you getting educated to go and work for the master. Education is about you getting the information and then creating what you are sent on earth to do. Yes. So I find that most artists are afraid of the unknown. The main thing is a salary.
Jeez. The other option of this is the wrong job. I chose incorrectly. Let me go look for a different job. And I'm referring to yourself and those in your position that says the industry is not working for all of us. And even those that are young that are thinking of coming into this industry. You're saying, Tuan, maybe not. What is your take?
Well, let me talk about the young ones first. Before they join this industry, I wish for a deal with their academics and stuff. Go get a degree, get something tangible, and then try and get something in this industry.
Yeah.
But I don't regret anything and I'm not going to change anything because I know this industry works outside of South Africa. You see? So my focus is not just on South Africa. I'm a Canadian papa.
Yeah.
I will get my stuff together and I'll be working around the world.
Ever thought of leaving before now?
I once contemplated that. That's when I was in Scotland. When I was being stopped from coming home. And being told that you are not a South African by my own black people who look like me.
Who speak like you.
Who speak like me. Yeah.
Jeez.
That's when I thought, let me go to Canada and just forget. But I said, no, this is my country.
But in the 20-odd years that you've been back, which is a while now, it's probably 8 years, you ever thought of waking up one morning and saying, this is not the country that I thought I wanted? That's never crossed your mind to get on a plane, take the family and say, let's go?
Well, I'm not giving up, my brother. I'm not going to exile again. I will go out there, work, and come back here. Because I believe in this country. I believe in the people of this country. Yeah. That's the main thing that drives me every day, that gives me hope. That if our people can get help, we will be a better people someday, provided we get our land back. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I had the leader of the PAC in the studio. Trust me. I'm well aware. I'm conscientized on land issues.
All right.
So right now, because you've had a good run, very good run. Brakop, is it Brakop?
Brakop.
Yes. What show is that again?
Rhythm City.
Rhythm City, of course. You've had a good run.
Yes.
And when you look at those shows that you've done, which is a lot, let me look at my list. My list will tell me. Give me a second. My list will tell me. It's a Isitingo. In and out. It's a Isitingo. Is it hard copies? Hard copy. And all of that. When you look at those shows, do you look at your career and say, it worked. What is your take?
I wouldn't say it worked, my brother.
Mm.
I wouldn't say it worked because I've lived overseas. I know when it works. You know?
Yes.
We have people in the States and all over Europe and everywhere who are less talented than most artists in South Africa. And these people are making a killing. They have private jets. They have everything.
Sure.
But the most talented artists here in South Africa have nothing. Just a salary. That's all they get.
What is wrong with your industry?
Well, first, the government doesn't care about regulating our industry. That's why everyone is in it to just make their money and don't care about nobody. I'm not talking bad about anybody.
No, yeah. You're saying...
Yeah, everyone is looking out for themselves, you know?
Sure. And that you're saying is at the heart of the challenges.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
There's big productions now. There's big platforms. There's Netflixes of this world and Showmaxes of this world. Haven't they made a difference to maybe get this thing looking and sounding better, this industry?
Well, the thing is, you should look at who's running those companies. These are foreign companies. What is so wrong with having our own companies here running the show? Like the Fergusons, the Tumagandlovu, you know?
But there's a growth of those companies now, isn't it? More of them than many years ago.
At a snail's pace. Yes. That's not good enough. Like I said, all over the world, there are less talented artists who are making it big with little things.
Don't you think a conversation like this will get you in trouble?
Me? What trouble?
Well, I get about a blacklist.
Papa, somebody blacklist. I'm not talking bad about anybody. I'm not blaming anybody.
Yes.
You know, for everything that's not happening to me. Going to 1 billion auditions and not getting a job.
Sure.
I'm not blaming anybody. I'm blaming myself for being lazy and not stretching my mind, you know, to get what's coming to me.
Do you still go to a lot of auditions?
Yeah. And I'm tired of it. At my age, I'm pushing 69 now.
Yeah.
And it's auditions after auditions. And at these auditions, I meet all kinds of veterans. And I'm saying, I don't believe this. Because to me, going to auditions is like going to a slave auction. Stand there, smile, turn around, put your hands out.
Say that line.
Say that line.
It's like a police line.
Yes.
Where you have to say that line. Let's hear how you say it.
Yes. You know? So I feel that there's not much respect towards artists in this country.
Do you feel at this stage, auditions at the stage of your career and those like yourselves, veterans, you should be treated differently?
We should.
Yeah.
Hugh Masekela used to say that this is the most uncaring country in the world.
Sure.
Nobody appreciates us as artists. I remember when Mbeki was president, he said, these are not workers, they are just entertainers. You know?
Wow.
And it's in everyone's family. They say, hey, go get a real job, Wena. Yeah. Don't tell us you are working with this showbiz of yours.
I think it's a misunderstanding of this industry. From families all the way up to...
I would say intentional misunderstanding. You know?
Yeah.
Because the money that we get, it's made to look as if it's enough. It's bigger than what other people get in their jobs, but it's not. Because there's no benefits. There is nothing.
When you work for 2 weeks and you get 100,000, it looks like it's a lot of money.
It's not. Because then you're going to stay for the next 8 or 2 years with no job. You see,
So that's the only 100,000 you'll get.
the 100,000.
When
you
an
get that
accountant is going to
100,000,
be getting a salary, yeah?
you have to pay all the debt that you have.
Yes, that you accumulated before you got this job.
Yes,
So you're always on the back foot.
that's it.
Sure.
And you see, I'm not blaming anybody for that.
Yes.
In my case,
No. You're very
I
clear.
blame myself.
Yeah.
You know?
These are your decisions.
Yes.
Sure.
You know?
Hey, I'm tired
So,
of these stories. Eh?
Now, Wabona, I count on
Taunyane.
reinventing myself.
Have you deliberately tried to do that reinvention?
I'm working on it, my brother.
Yeah.
It's only that I don't want to elaborate now.
Yes.
Lawyer, remember?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Phew.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And I don't regret being an artist.
Mm-mm.
I was born to be that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even when you were sleeping, go parking,
Oh, yes.
you were an artist.
That's when, my conviction was even stronger.
Mm.
It's like even now, I haven't had a good job in so many years, since 2021.
Whoa.
Yes. But,
How do you sustain it though?
well, I'm not stupid, Papa. Yeah.
Because it can be easy.
I'm a hustler.
Mm.
I'm a hustler. I read this book by Stanislavski. He's a theater practitioner from Russia.
Mm.
He said, as an artist, you are like a soldier.
Yeah.
You are like a revolutionary. You have to work from nothing into something.
That's true.
That's being an artist. That's why I believe in reinventing myself.
Yeah.
If this doesn't work, okay, I do this.
Like this.
That doesn't work, I do this. I still come back to that until it all comes together. It will come together.
The jobs that you've done, surely there must be one. There's one that people carry, particularly in your world.
Mhm.
You carry it wherever you go.
Yes.
You either remain that character, either because it made such a huge impact in people's lives,
Mhm.
or they enjoyed it the most. Which one is it for you?
Rhythm City,
Brakop.
Brakop,
You remain Brakop, whether you like it or not.
everywhere. Even little kids, my nieces, nephews, Brakop.
Why do you think that is? Because you've done so many other roles.
Well, I guess I did a good job.
Mm.
Hmm.
And you,
Even though now
yeah,
I go to some auditions and I'm told that I'm too famous and I don't understand that.
that happens.
Oh, yes, I was told that. And I wasn't told directly. I went to the audition and then I was waiting. Then I went to another audition. The lady there said, "What are you doing here? You should be on set." I said, "What?" She said, "No, you remember that audition? You were confirmed."
And then?
And then I said, "No one called me." She called them, spoke to them, and she came to me with a down face.
Sad face, yes.
Sad face, and said, "I'm sorry. They say they really liked you, but you are too famous." And I told her, yeah, if I'm famous, I'll be able to sell their product.
I'm confused by this. Because that's the world you live in makes people famous.
Yes.
That's automatic. And if you're good at it, you're most likely to be very famous.
Yes.
And if they call you for an audition, well, they know who they're calling.
Mhm.
They're calling you.
Yeah.
You're coming there for an audition, and if it's a callback, they know who they're calling.
Yes.
This famous guy.
Mhm.
And then they say, we like him, but he's too famous.
Well, I don't know. For some reason, that's why I said,
Hey.
maybe it's not working in this country, but in other countries, the industry is working very well.
Mm.
And I'm not going to limit myself to just this country.
Have you had the luck of working in other countries? Your story reads of a moment where you worked alongside, is it Danny Glover in a Namibian story?
I worked with Danny Glover.
Yeah.
I worked with Richard Attenborough.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked with, Peter, I can't remember the names. This guy who did Soul Man. You know Soul Man? A white guy who was playing a black guy.
I'm trying to remember.
States.
Yes.
He used to paint himself black. I worked with him.
Jeez.
I worked with Ken Gambo. I mean, I've worked with Paul Simon in Hollywood. You know?
Hey.
I've had acclaims from, do you know the Oscars? Oscar Preminger.
Yeah.
His brother, Otto Preminger, when we were in Canada, after the performance, he came backstage and he was impressed by my talent.
Sure.
He said, boy, I'd like you to come to the United States, come to Los Angeles. Just go to the border and tell them that Mr. Otto Preminger has invited me to Hollywood. But I couldn't do it. I was still under
that
immigration thing, you know.
Sure.
As far as talent, I don't doubt myself. But now maybe my acting is a B actor's.
Or maybe it's too
acting.
famous.
No, maybe it's B acting like a Ronald Reagan, you know. They used to call him a B actor.
B actor.
Yeah.
Who became president.
Maybe I fall under that and stuff. But I would appreciate if people tell me the truth instead of telling me that I'm too famous.
It's a crazy world, hey?
It is.
I don't understand it, I must admit. Because there's so many people that love it. Not only us who watch it.
Yes.
Advertisers love it because they want to advertise next to you guys.
Yes.
You know, we want them we want to put our adverts around them. And there are also those who make money from it, who are the big production houses and the big stations. And I get confused at how the money doesn't end up in the pockets of the workers, the miners. You're the one that goes underground to mine for gold.
I know. It's crazy, my brother. It's so crazy.
And the appreciation.
You know?
I remember I had Mam Ukoni, and we were talking about her appearance on Black Panther.
Yes.
And she says, geez, I'm a star there. I'm a big star.
Yeah.
I get a caravan. I get treated like I matter.
Yes.
But in South Africa, the world is different.
South Africa, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm frustrated, Natavi. I will not lie to you. I do not get it. Is it improving? Maybe.
It's getting worse. Because now, let me tell you, a 69-year-old like me runs all over auditioning and not getting the job. But you get young little boys and girls who just graduated from AFDA, walking into jobs without being auditioned.
Sure.
You see? That's why I'm saying, gosh, it's not getting better.
Are they?
Because nowadays, those who get jobs are the ones who have followers. It's no longer about talent, it's about followers.
Maybe we should work on our followers. Jeez.
But that's been fake, Papa.
Yeah, well, I guess that's what's needed now. Sheer. Do you feel that maybe those young ones are cheaper?
Well, I don't even want to get into that.
They may get the job, but they're not getting the justice. They're getting shortchanged. Could that be a possibility?
Well, I don't know. But it's just my observation.
Yeah.
You see? Because I don't even know how much they get paid.
Of course.
Yes. But you see, I've seen many youngsters get jobs without auditioning.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, I'm saddened by our industry. And whenever people watch these episodes, they also leave confused and not understanding. Because to us, you are stars, you know? You are big stars. We want to take pictures with you. And I'm sure it happens to you all the time.
I know. I meet people and they say, we miss you on TV. Please go back to TV. And I tell them that, you know what? I'm not the one who chooses to get that job.
That is true.
There are people who choose. And if they don't like me, if they don't call me, what can I do? I cannot sit and be frustrated and drink and do drugs and
post videos of yourself saying you're broke.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Instead, I reinvent myself.
Do you feel it's the same though for actors and actresses of your era and your age? Do you feel that there's a attitude of we are moving on to newer and younger? Do you feel there's something like that?
Well, really, to be honest, I don't know about other artists,
Yes.
you know, how they feel and stuff, but I only know mainly about myself, you know,
Yeah.
that I'm not letting up. I'm not letting up.
Yeah.
The world ain't seen nothing yet.
Whoa.
From me, baby. Oh, yes.
I like that.
Oh, yes.
I like that.
Big things are still to come.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I want to conclude it there.
Thank you.
I like that note.
Thank you.
Big things are still to come.
Oh, yes. By hook or by crook.
Yes. Ke ntwana le pile Taunyane. I didn't know until today.
Ke re nna ke ngwana wa ga Kgosi Moroka. Ke mmina Tshipientsho. Ke mo huruse ke mo tshweneng.
Jeez.
Ke naiwa mmele. Makopo ga ke naiwe. Le sempone ke kokorogo. La re ke mabela. Ga ke mabela. Ke tsetswe ke lejalo. Tshesebe.
Are don't look at me and think I'm proud. I was born that way.
Yes.
I like that last phrase. Who are the people that you, in this moment when we conclude, you want to thank in your life experience? Those that when you look back and say they deserve a small or maybe big mention. Who are those people?
First and foremost, my mother, my uncle Lepile, Ntate Slailo Maredi, my wife, my family, children, and a whole lot of good people who I meet and they smile and they want a picture with me. And those are the people I really love.
So those moments matter.
They matter. I know I have touched people's hearts.
Yeah.
Even though some people don't think I'm anything, but I know I've touched people's hearts.
Yeah.
And I meant it to be good. And it will remain good. I will always love my people.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I always ask my grootman to give advice about marriage.
Marriage.
As grootman.
It's a two-way traffic.
Okay.
Yeah. Most men, like I said, most men, you know, give themselves titles to be the runners of their homes. It doesn't work like that. Marriage is a two-way traffic. You have to be a partner in the marriage.
Yeah.
When you get paid, don't keep your card in your pocket and keep 10 rand. Give your card. Take your card and give it to your wife and say, sweetie, you are the director of the home. Do what's necessary.
Yeah.
I'll take a little change, you know, so I can buy fruit or something when I walk around. That's it.
Jeez.
Marriage is the most wonderful thing because we learn from it, you know. But now if you come thinking you are the leader in a marriage, you are blocking yourself from learning because women are very special. That's why I love them so much. But not to sleep with them.
Of course.
I only sleep with my wife.
I understand. I understand what you're describing.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Marriage is very important.
It's worked for you.
Oh, yes, it works for me.
Yeah.
And it's not just me. I know there are good guys out there. But most guys are terrible. We need to pull our socks up. You know?
We can do better.
We can do better. You know? We need to be bigger people so that our sons can be even bigger than us. Then that way we can guarantee that the future will be rosy for our little daughters.
On that note, raising kids, the importance of it for you, how is it worked for you? And when you look at your children and say the role you've played in their lives is one that matters or not, how do you describe it?
You know, raising kids has really atoned me. it has calmed me down. It has made me to understand that kids, also have their own lives to live. We don't have to dictate to kids. We need to just guide them to do the right things, to choose the path they want to go, and not to be too controlling. Because being too controlling is a problem.
Have you enjoyed fatherhood?
Oh, yes, very much. That's all I live for.
Even now?
Oh, yes.
How old are they now?
My daughter's 25 and my son is 10 years old.
And you still treat them like they are 1 and 2?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Wow. You have a young,
but
with child.
With understanding that, these people grow up and they have their own ways of doing things.
Yeah.
You
have a young 10-year-old. Do you still have the energy for a 10-year-old?
My brother, I force it because I have to do it.
Okay.
Yes, I have to run like a jumpela mo. So I've developed tricks. I jump like I put my foot like this so it won't hurt me.
Jeez.
And I just love it.
Yeah.
And that's what most artists don't understand. I remember, the 14 years I spent doing Rhythm City. Other artists who didn't understand that after the shoot, I'm the first one to say, I'm going home to my family. I don't go to the club to go and drink alcohol and talk about other people, about how people are failing. Because in this country, when you lose a job, hey, people celebrate. They will spend all kinds of money talking about you. Oh, he's finished. Oh, the car is gone. Oh, what? Oh, what?
Even newspapers, they lead with a story.
Yes.
That says he's fell on hard times.
Yes. But me, I've developed an elephant skin because I know what's in here. And what's in here is good. It's nothing evil.
Sure.
I only mean well.
Wow.
And those who have a problem with me, they have a problem with me. I don't have a problem with them.
You're at peace.
I'm at peace with myself and with everyone else. Those who choose to hate me, so be it.
But they born.
Thank you. Thank you.
I used to use that line.
Oh, yes.
I would say, maybe not matat.
Yeah.
So I used to justify it though.
Yes.
But I want thank you so much.
And you'll be the first one to know.
Please do tell us.
Oh, yes.
Yay.
Oh, yes.
Come running.
Yes.
And say, let's do part 2.
Yes.
Definitely.
Because I mean well.
Yes.
I'm not going to take, inconveniences lying down. Not scared. Not scared.
Wow. Thank you so much.
King David Studio Podcast.